Welcome to the Online Orientation Money Room. This section is all about funding your education. To begin, how much does it cost to go to Walla Walla Community College? The cost of attendance includes tuition and fees of approximately $4,376 per year. Now this is the average for a full-time student. It can vary a little bit. Also an estimated cost of books and supplies at about $1,000. If you're living away from home, room and board, about $9,000. Important to remember though, housing is not a part of Walla Walla Community College's campus, so that's an estimate for what it might cost to, say, rent an apartment in town and, keep yourself fed for the year. Transportation, fuel money to get to and from the college, and personal expenses. That's everything else. So you can see the total cost of attendance here. Now, it's important to remember the only funds that are going to Walla Walla Community College are your tuition and fees and potentially your books and supplies if you purchase books and supplies at the college. Here you can see all the nitty-gritty details of tuition and fees. So most of our students are Washington residents or residents of the United States, but not in Washington. That would be columns A and columns B here. So you'll see on column A, that's for Washington residents. For every credit you take, this is the cost. Now, if you're a full-time student, if you recall from the very beginning of our online orientation learning, full-time is 12 credits. So 12 credits if you're a Washington resident, that would be $1,293.38 per quarter. Now, if you're, say, an Oregon or an Idaho resident, you'd be looking at column B. Okay? So this tuition and fee schedule is found on our website as well. Life hacks. Paying for college and not going to class is like paying for a hotel and sleeping on a bench. Don't do it. You're paying for school, so show up, work hard, and don't have to pay for it again ever. Now, if you would like to receive financial aid, that's funding that comes from the federal or the state government that is typically grant money that you never have to pay back. The first step is completing and submitting a FAFSA. www.fafsa.gov is where you do that. Second step is completing the college's financial aid information form, found on our financial aid website. And then finally, the financial aid office will be in touch with you if you have any additional documentation that's required. That would be for someone who, say, wants to take out loans, or if they need to double check any information you provided. So the FAFSA is step one, however. That is available January 1st of the coming academic year every year, so it has been available since January 1st, 2015. If you haven't done it yet, do it as soon as possible. That funding is first come, first serve, so students are already being awarded for fall quarter, and if you want to get in fall quarter as well, you need to fill that out right away. Now, there are other funding sources available here at the college as well. We have a program called Worker Retraining, where you can get funding if you're someone who is a veteran, if you've been recently divorced, if you've been laid off from a job and are needing some retraining. Those are a few of the criteria. There's also Work First, Basic Food Education and Training, the Opportunity Grant, TRIO Student Support Services, and the Blue Mountain Action Council that are all affiliated with the college and can help with funding. Now, the main message that I want to give you here is if you feel like you're having trouble paying for your tuition fees, books, supplies, any of that cost of attendance, tell your advisor. Okay, there are lots of funding sources out there that can help you. Don't ever think you should drop out because you can't afford it. We have lots of funding sources available. And this doesn't even mention our foundation. The Walla Walla Community College Foundation funds students every quarter who can't afford it otherwise. Now, to pay your tuition, one thing that is available is the automatic payment plan. Now, this is a tool you can enroll in on our website when you register for classes. You saw that link. There's also a link available through your MyWWCC. And this breaks up your tuition payments into 3 monthly payments. So if you can't afford to pay it all at once, this will help you out by giving you monthly payments. If you'd like to work on campus, we do have lots and lots of on-campus jobs through state work study, federal work study, student help, or WorkSource. So many of our students, almost 75%, are working while they're going to college. It's not uncommon, and if you can fit it in your schedule and still be successful in your classes, it's a great thing to do. All right, if you need emergency funding, we can help. We know it. Talk to your advisor if you happen to have any kind of an emergency during the academic year where you're afraid you're not going to be able to pay your tuition because your funding had to go, say, to medical expenses to fixing your car, something like that, then chat with your advisor and they'll help you out by sending you to our funding advisors and funding coaches who can set you up potentially with some emergency funding. Now, you are going to be getting a green envelope in the mail that looks just like this from Hire One. All of our students who receive any funding from the college, whether it's through financial aid, a loan, a scholarship, anything, they get that through Hire One. Okay, so you're going to get a green envelope in the mail like this. It's going to come with your Hire One card. Okay, it's a student debit card, and that's what your money is deposited on. So don't throw this away. It is not junk mail. When you see that college logo in the green envelope, open it up and follow the instructions to get that card activated. Tuition is due on September 11th, 2015 for our fall quarter, which is likely your first quarter of classes. Don't forget to pay that tuition prior to September 11th. If it's getting close to that day and you don't know how you're going to pay your tuition, contact us at the college, let us know, and we'll help you get a good game plan together. If you do not pay that tuition by September 11th, we will get in touch with you. You'll be getting a phone call, an email, a piece of mail in your mailbox. You'll be getting all those things. But worst case scenario, you could be dropped from your classes. So it's really important that you pay attention to that due date. If you are dropped from your classes, then you'll have a $35 fee if you enroll in them again after that tuition due date. All right, thank you for participating in the Money Room. I know this is a lot of information at once, so please talk to your advisor, ask questions through this Canvas online orientation if you're concerned or confused about anything having to do with money at the community college.